Listening to the Spectacular Magazine radio show on Foxy 107 104. Listening to the Spectacular Magazine radio show on Foxy 107 104.
Good morning and welcome to Spectacular Magazine Radio Show. I'm your host, Phyllis Coley, CEO and editor of Spectacular Magazine. Spectacular Magazine Radio Show on Foxy shines a spotlight on community issues that impact our neighborhood. We are your community-focused resource. I want to thank everybody who supported the 15th annual North Carolina Juneteenth celebration that took place on June 15th downtown Durham. The event was awesome, but it was awesome because of you. Thank you for the love. But what I need you to do is go ahead and mark your calendar for next year. The 16th annual North Carolina Juneteenth celebration will take place on the third Saturday in June. Remember, our Juneteenth is always on Saturday. Father's Day is on Sunday. That's how you can remember it. Do y'all know about the Ocean City Jazz Festival? Well, the Ocean City community at North Topsail and its nonprofit organization, the Ocean City Beach Citizens Council, will present the 10th annual Ocean City Jazz Festival that takes place July the 7th through the 4th through the 7th. Now, if you don't know, North Topsail was the only place down at the shore that back in the 50s and 60s that African Americans could own land. This festival takes place on black-owned land right at the beach, and it boasts an incredible lineup of talent that caters to both jazz art purists and lovers of contemporary jazz. The Ocean City Jazz Festival will start on July 4th with a beer and wine tasting from 5 to 7, followed by an all-white kickoff party at 7:30 featuring John Dillard. The first night of the festival, July 5th, includes performances by Jasmine Gant, the John Brown Little Big Band, and the Sax Pack featuring Jeff Camaro, Steve Cole, and Marcus Anderson. On Saturday night, the lineup includes Selena Albright, the Ocean City Jazz All-Stars, which includes Cyrus Chestnut, Mark Whitfield, Derek Gardner, and John Brown. Eric Darius closes out the evening. Then there's Church of the Tent on Sunday morning. Then there's going to be a gospel jazz, a Sunday gospel brunch. Now the final night, Sunday night, will feature Gail Johnson, John Brown Quintet with Alvin Atkinson and Adam Hawley with guest Kate Hawley and featuring Marcus Anderson. Now during the day, every night the concerts start at 5 o'clock, but during the day there are yoga classes, there's kayaking, there's paddle boarding, and there's a workshop on fundraising for nonprofits. There are also going to be shuttle buses and buses coming from various cities in North Carolina. So for tickets, lineup, and additional information, visit oceancityjazzfest.com. In 2009, when President Obama released the bailout stimulus money in his first few months in office on how to apply, who could apply, who would benefit, was changing every day. And as a monthly publication at Spectacular Magazine, we felt like we couldn't get the information to the community in a timely manner. And it was important to us that our community did not miss out on this financial opportunity. So we started Spectacular Magazine Radio Show in 2009 on a different station, but with the same mission: to keep our community informed. Well, I'm feeling like another situation has presented itself in our community, and that's why we want to make sure that we know about this multi-billion-dollar opportunity that has presented itself in this state, and we're here today to tell you all about it. It's the cannabidiol or CBD industry. Now joining me now is CEO and co-founder of Root Bioscience, Garrett Perdue. Root Bioscience manufactures hemp-derived health and wellness products in a GMP or Good Manufacturing Practice compliant facility located in Research Pioneer Park. Its production team delivers a science-driven approach to the nascent cannabis industry and plant molecular biology, biotechnology, biochemistry, nanomaterials, pharmaceutical formulation, and product development. In other words, he knows what he's talking about. Okay, welcome, Garrett.
Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Thank you. So let's get right into it. So first of all, tell us what is CBD. Let's start very basic.
Sure.
Okay.
So cannabis hosts 120 cannabinoids. CBD is one of those 120 cannabinoids. A cannabinoid is just a molecule within the cannabis plant. My company takes all 120 of those molecules out and mixes those into oils that we put into consumer products of all types.
And does each molecule do something different?
It does indeed. So increasingly, people are talking about CBD as a silver bullet or a cure-all.
Right.
That's not accurate.
Okay.
CBD is a powerful natural anti-inflammatory. So it takes pressure off of all your body systems. It can reduce inflammation to make your joints feel better. It can have impact on anxiety by reducing the pressure on your pulmonary system. THC is another cannabinoid, another molecule within the plant. THC is very well known. THC is the molecule in the plant that makes you feel high.
Okay,
So as THC and CBD both have very distinct impacts on the human body, it's reasonable to presume that all these other 118 molecules also have a different impact. So you're absolutely right. Each of these have a different impact on the human condition.
Is it the same as marijuana? That's where my confusion is. So it's cannabis, but it's not marijuana?
It's such a great question, and the biggest source of confusion in my world. So people talk about hemp and marijuana as if they're very, very different plants. And that also is not accurate. They're both the same plant. The only difference between a marijuana plant and a hemp plant is the level of THC.
Okay, I got you. All right. Now, when did this become legal, and how did this become legal in North Carolina?
Very confusing.
Yeah.
Very, very confusing. In 2014, Congress passed a federal farm bill that for the first time defined industrial hemp as cannabis that contained less than 0.3% THC.
Okay.
Congress also put in place provisions that allowed states like North Carolina to develop pilot programs to begin cultivating or farming hemp. In 2015, the North Carolina General Assembly passed legislation that established North Carolina's hemp pilot program. North Carolina began issuing licenses in 2017 to grow hemp. So the production of hemp has been legal in North Carolina since 2017. The process started in 2014.
And then how did we get to then making it into oils and the other products?
So when North Carolina established its pilot program, it defined a slate of allowable uses. And one of those allowable uses was to determine the market for hemp products. And some of the prime hemp products are these CBD oils and other materials that people are using for health and wellness benefits.
And we talk about benefits. Let's talk, what are some of the uses and benefits?
So the Congressional Budget Office in 2017 issued a report that says that there are more than 2,000 uses for hemp. So it would take a really long time for us to cover them all. In the health and wellness category, the primary uses are for pain, anxiety, and sleep.
And sleep.
Correct.
Does it help you? Because, as I told you, I have a sleep issue. Mine is not getting to sleep, but it's staying asleep. So does that help? And then how would I know what dosage to use or what amount to use to be able to stay asleep?
You really are getting to all the really important questions right out of the gate. So that's the reason that I use hemp products. I have that very same condition. I'm like you. I'm a pretty busy person, and when I wake up, I have all these things that I'm thinking about, and it's hard for me to get back to sleep. And so I've found, and many people that we work with have found, that if you take a small dose of CBD before you go to bed, that even if you wake up, you have an ability to go back to sleep. In terms of dosage, that may be the most difficult question you could possibly ask. Dosage is different for every person. If you had a twin sister or twin brother, it's quite likely that the dose for your twin sister or twin brother would be different than the dose that you take. It's a very personal experience. We found that 20 milligrams of active ingredient, or 20 milligrams of CBD is a very good starting dose. And it's up to each individual to find their own proper dose amount.
But how do I do that? I mean, because I'm sure that it would seem to me, and let me not say I'm sure, it would seem that if you're 5 feet and weigh 100 pounds, that you're not going to need the same amount as someone who's 6'5" and weighs 250 pounds. You know? So that would seem to be the logical thing, but is it? And how does that work?
That is one of the factors. Size, weight, experience or history of use with these products is another one. The type of condition that you're trying to address is another one. Somebody with severe pain may need a larger dose than somebody with a lighter pain. Somebody with severe sleep anxiety might need a lighter dose than somebody that doesn't have as large an issue. In terms of how you find that dose, that's something that my company has spent a lot of time looking at. And so you'll find very, very simple and easy to follow dosing instructions that will tell you exactly how much of our products to take to get to a required dose or a projected dose.
How do you ingest it? How does it get into your system? I mean, do you smoke it? Do you put it in water, a few drops? And I mean, how do you do it?
You can do all of those things.
Oh, okay.
The beautiful thing about an oil is you can put it into multiple products. So we, historically the use is smoking flower, both in marijuana and hemp, and that's certainly still an option in 2019. We believe it's not the best option. Frankly, setting something on fire and consuming the flames and smoke is never an ideal situation, right? So combustion is not the way. Companies like mine have developed technology that allows you to pull these molecules out of the plant for the first time in our history. And so the ability to do that allows us to create products or oils that we can then take and infuse. We believe that oral consumption is the best for a variety of reasons. Taking oils that you place under your tongue so they're absorbed into your bloodstream fast and efficiently is likely the best form. Put in foods and beverages and other forms. People put them into lotions that you rub onto your skin. So there's infinite uses and way to take these products.
I recently saw something about, though, that you can't do them in gummy bears and you can't put it in brownies. Is that true? Wasn't there a rule or law or something passed recently?
That's absolutely true in North Carolina and in large parts of the country, frankly. So again, the regulations in this industry are not all that well established. So
what's so new?
It would be shocking for most to hear that there are really no regulations on a manufacturing business like mine. The government is interested in THC content, but to date they've not been interested, or at least they've not addressed supply chain, manufacturing protocols, how we're making these products. In North Carolina, as you may know, there was an instance where there was a child who took a gummy that his mother bought for him, and he became ill. And the mother went to social media and found this company online, and there were some really questionable conditions in the kitchen in which these materials were manufactured. And the mother informed the State Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services about the conditions in this kitchen. And the result was a complete and total ban in North Carolina on all infused food and beverage products. So any product like a brownie or a gummy where these oils have been put in place. And they are working currently on regulations that may allow for these products in the future, but you need to be very, very careful when selling or consuming those products in North Carolina because they are banned.
Okay, so let's talk about how could I don't know. Tell me about how did you get into this business? Are there legislation? Is there training? Do you go to a class? Do you have to get a license? If I wanted to set up a shop and sell CBD oil, could I just open up?
Yes, the easiest answer to that is yes. There are no regulations or license requirements for the sale of these materials. So you could go this morning and you could establish a retail shop and you could find or source these products and you could sell them. There are more stringent requirements at different parts of the industry. There are licenses required to grow the plants.
Okay.
You do have to register to manufacture products, but there are no license requirements to sell the products.
Talk about Root Bioscience and your and Natural, your brand or line of products.
I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do that. So you asked how I got into this business. So my background, I'm a lawyer. I practiced for about 15 years in government and regulatory and represented some really big companies like R.J. Reynolds, one of our tobacco companies.
Okay.
So for quite some time, I've been helping businesses operate in highly regulated spaces. We began representing cannabis companies in 2013, and so we've had a front row seat as the United States and Canadian cannabis or marijuana industries have grown. Along the way, we have had some really personal experiences with these products. So there are people in my family who I love very, very dearly, who benefit immensely from using these products for various conditions. Some of them life-threatening. Some of them as simple as a sleep disorder. By way of example, one of my children has issues with night terrors. She wakes up in a panicked state, and it's a very difficult situation as a parent to deal with. And I knew these types of products would help her. And we wanted to create a manufacturing environment where we knew that the products we were delivering were safe and high quality. And so that was the way we entered the industry.
And so now and then what type products do you make? And again, and then talk about your dosing system.
Sure. So we have two core businesses. Root Bioscience at its core is a materials science business. So we do bulk materials manufacturing and contract manufacturing. So that is an industrial scale business that develops oils and crystal powders that we sell to companies all over the country that they then use to put into their products.
Okay.
And you're right, we've just recently launched a brand called Naternal, Naternal. You can find us online if you look for us.
Okay.
And we have a host of products. We have two classes of products, ingestible products and topical products. Our ingestible products are oils or tinctures that you can take just by a dropper, like in a fashion that people are familiar with. It's the way you took medicine all the way back to the 50s.
Right, okay.
Nothing new and different about it.
Okay.
Just a very easy way to take these oils. We also have salves, balms, lotions, all types of pain creams, and other skin creams that you can use for a variety of conditions.
And how would people find you?
www.naternal.com.
What's the estimates that, as far as money, that could be made in this industry?
So the reports I've read say that hemp alone is a $2 billion industry in the United States by 2020.
Is this the legal hemp or illegal?
This is the legal hemp.
Okay, good.
This is the legal hemp market.
Okay.
And frankly, I think that those numbers are low. People talk about the size and scale of regulated marijuana markets all over the country. You often read about the $9 billion California marijuana market. Frankly, hemp products are going to dwarf the recreational marijuana markets all over the country.
Why do you say that?
There's so many more uses. There's so many more product companies using these. By way of example, I recently read that Nabisco is looking at putting CBD into some of its snack treats. We've seen companies like Coca-Cola talking about doing infused beverages. You don't see that in the marijuana market. Real traditional, top brand companies are about to start releasing these products. It's going to be a massive market.
They will have to put it on the can though, right? You know what I'm saying?
You're not going to be surprised?
Right.
Yeah, there are absolutely going to be labeling requirements, and that's one of the issues in the industry right now. Since the FDA and the USDA and other traditional federal agencies that regulate consumer products are not yet into space, there are companies of all kinds making claims on their labels that just aren't accurate, either intentionally or by accident, and so you will see much better label claims being made going forward.
And I just have so much. When you talk about it being the various uses and the dosages, again, is there on your site, is there like, can I put in my weight and I put in my height and I put in different things and then it'll calculate it for me?
There are recommendation engines of that type. So there are tools that you can use. Again, I would tell you that you have to be careful with those tools because they do look at things like weight and height and body mass, and they make a standard recommendation. And again, cannabis dosing, CBD dosing is a very, very personal experience. And so though you might have a recommendation from one of those tools, you still would need to experiment and take different doses to find your own personal dose. For us, again, we believe that 20 milligrams is a very, very good starting dose for all ingestible or oral products. And so everything that we do is built to allow our new customers to find that 20 milligram dose. By way of example, we offer 3 strengths, and you can go on our website and find charts that show you exactly how to find that dose in all of our products.
And that's your website, rootbioscience.com, or on the Natural?
So that you can find that one on Naternal. So www.naternal.com. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah. How is the medical industry accepting this?
Well, there hadn't been much research on these products. And so, like we expect from good doctors, they're being very cautious about making recommendations. And you'll see a pretty wide range of experience there. So holistic physicians or physicians that have practiced with herbal medicine are much more likely to provide a recommendation in this space. There are restrictions on a physician's ability to prescribe these products. You won't find any physician, a licensed physician, that's allowed to prescribe these, but some will talk about the implications of using these products. And if you are going to use these products, you should talk to your doctor about it.
Yes.
Because there are drug interactions that you need to be aware of.
We have a question from one of our viewers who wants to know, would you recommend this for pets?
Absolutely. In fact, we have a pet line. Yes. Absolutely. So the 2 conditions we see use in pets, older pets that have joint problems and are having trouble getting around really benefit from these products. So you'll see increased mobility and just general better well-being from your animals. And it's not just dogs, it's cats, it's horses, it's across the board with animals. And the other is anxiety, separation anxiety, or my dog gets pretty anxious when there's a thunderstorm. And so we use these products with our animals in those conditions.
Amazing. This is amazing. I'm just kind of lost for words. We got to wrap up. Again, I have been talking with Garrett Perdue. I hope that today's conversation was as helpful for you as it was for me. But you need to go to, give us your website again.
www.naternal.com.
And listen, we have to go, but check us out online and send us your questions. Garrett's going to stick around with me for a little while, and we'll answer some of your questions. I'm Phyllis Coley. I want to thank Garrett Perdue. He is with Root Bioscience, located in Research Triangle Park. We've been talking about the CBD industry. Check it out. I think that for me, it was one that gave me a science behind the whole thing, and not just like this is a wonderful product and this is a magic drug, a magic product that's just going to be a cure-all for everything, but it really gave me some science behind it. I want to thank my in-studio team, Lawrence Davis, Yamisa Brody, and DC Collins, and I'm Phyllis Coley, and until next time, see ya!